FSV Mainz 05 football team has strengthened on the defense with a real veteran. Joshua Guilavogui comes to the Braunschweig Red and Gold Football, a joint venture of FC Bayern Munich and Los Angeles Football Club, LAFC, today announced a new partnership with Gambina Stars Africa, a renowned football academy in the Gambia, for talent development in West Africa.
Russian officers who hadn't been paid by Moscow sold key intel on the Black Sea Fleet to Ukrainian resistance fighters. Then the headquarters blew up. In Mexico, Senate committees approved that the CURP be updated and carry a photo, fingerprints and signature.
The Office reboot reportedly in the works after strike. Greg Daniels will reportedly lead reboot of NBC sitcom. Keith Richards whines about rap. I don't like people yelling at me and telling me it's music. Italy cancels $100 million in debt owed by Egypt, provides $75 million to develop wheat silos. Malaysia seeking to annul US $14.90 final award to Sulu Airs. SAG-AFTRA members approve video game strike authorization vote with 98.32% yes vote. Sinn Féin promises Irish NHS within 2 terms of government. In UK, BD to cut rural jobs and diversity push.
French government plans to extend video surveillance by AI beyond the 2024 Olympics. French athletes will not be able to bring the veil to the Paris Olympics.
Hong Kong-based senior Nomura banker faces exit ban from China, amid probe. Hong Kong to list suspicious crypto platforms in wake of JPEX scandal. In Argentina, Banco Nación paid $1,800,000 to Pity, the numerologist for coaching sessions. Bitcoin gains legal recognition in Shanghai despite China's crypto ban, as Shanghai court recognizes Bitcoin's uniqueness, calls it non-replicable. Polkadot reveals plans to support 1,000 parachains at Sub-Zero Developer Conference. Leaked documents reveal Microsoft's plans to bring crypto wallets to Xbox.
In Hungary, PM Orbán says, "We will not support Ukraine in any way until the rights of Hungarians in Transcarpathia are restored." Hungary refuses timely ratification of Sweden's NATO accession. Germany's Interior Minister Fieser informs, border controls came for Poland and the Czech Republic.
Growth hormone treatment for children, spiking in Korea. Population of Republic of Ireland grows by 98,000 in a year. 2 years ago Irish population reached 5 meters, for first time since 1851 census. Venezuela sent 11,000 troops to seize control of a gang-run prison that had a pool, a zoo, and a nightclub. U.S. military captures ISIS official in Syria, in helicopter raid. Richest oil states should pay climate tax, says Gordon Brown. Macron launches ecological plan to end France's use of fossil fuels by 2030. In South Africa, massive storm wreaks havoc in Cape Town and Overberg.
3M agrees to pay almost $10 million to settle apparent Iran sanctions violations over sale of products. Sale of microplastics in the EU is prohibited. A new ransomware group's they've breached all Sony systems, threatened to sell stolen data. In a first, court in South Korea jails man for using AI to make sexual images of minors.
Use of Merck COVID antiviral molnupiravir may be fueling evolution of COVID, as drug linked to virus mutations and the mutational signature spread between people, new study says. Wuhan Institute of Virology's Batwoman Shiz Hengli, the top virologist, says another coronavirus outbreak highly likely. Light therapy helps the brain clear out toxic Alzheimer's proteins. Political independence, found to be more negative than partisans.
Risk of depression may increase during first 2 years of oral contraceptive use. Exposure to negative gender stereotypes stunts motor performance in adolescent girls, study finds. Transgressions from cisgender and heteronormative behaviors expose children and adolescents to stigma and bullying, which may account for the previously identified associations between these items and poorer mental health.
Sekiro has sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Roblox lays off 30 workers from talent acquisition team as hiring slows. Unity removed terms of service from GitHub because views were so low. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch. Iconic horror franchise Scream is reportedly getting its own video game. Blizzard bans 250,000 Overwatch 2 cheaters, says its AI that analyzes voice chat is warning naughty players and can often correct negative behavior immediately.
Hong Kong crypto business Mixin says hackers stole $200 million in assets. Justin Sun-led crypto exchange HTX, Huobi, hacked for $7.9 million, 4,999 ETH, in weekend hack. MicroStrategy acquires additional 5,445 bitcoins and now holds 158,245 BTC.
Microsoft is hiring a nuclear energy expert to help power its AI and cloud data centers. Google expands its subsea cable infrastructure with newsworthy, connecting the US, Bermuda, and Portugal.
Amazon and Anthropic forge $4 billion alliance to revolutionize generative AI. Spotify will use AI to replicate podcasters' voices and translate them to other languages. ChatGPT can now see, hear, and speak. BCG consultants solving business problems with OpenAI's GPT-4 performed 23% worse than those without it, new study finds.
Property firm China Oceanwide gets liquidation order in Bermuda. EU Commission blocks Booking.com's planned acquisition of eTraveli over antitrust concerns. SEC charges cash flow king podcaster in $11 million Ponzi scheme. Robinhood is cutting jobs, reorganizing teams, and focusing on credit cards to solve a shrinking user base, insiders say. Huawei announced that the new Hongmeng will be released. No compatibility with Android applications. OnePlus unveils Oxygen OS 14, built on Android 14.
President al-Assad meets Li Qiang. Heading east is a political, cultural and economic guarantee for Syria. Syria is committed to heading east. Russia tells Armenian PM, "You are making a big mistake by flirting with West." Russia puts President of International Criminal Court on its wanted list. 2025 Toyota Camry sedan's possibly new look leaked in new video. Honda Accord with refreshed interior shown in Japan. Ineos Grenadier begins production for North American market. Nissan says all new models launched in Europe will be fully electric.
Tiger Woods caddies for son as Charlie secures spot in Golf National Championship. Spanish Soccer League La Liga wants Google to remove IPTV piracy apps already downloaded on users' phones.
Molotov cocktails thrown at Cuban embassy in Washington, minister says. In Germany the Holocaust memorials, KZ memorials, alarm that stronger presence of right-wing radicals in our locations. Scottish TV legend David McCallum dead. Star of NCIS, the man from UNCLE, was 90. Bruce Willis' wife says it's hard to know if actor understands his dementia diagnosis.
iPhone 16 Pro to join Pro Max in using tetraprism camera, a periscope telephoto lens. iPhone 16 rumored to introduce a new capture button with unknown purpose. Google Pixel 8 leak promises 7 years of OS updates. In Indonesia, TikTok Shop is prohibited from selling. YouTube's cheapest ad-free paid plan Premium Lite will be discontinued.
Northrop partners with UK firm Spaceforge to build semiconductors factories in space. China plans giant particle accelerator-powered chip factory. SMIC well on its way to 5 nanometers breakthrough, observers say. US exploring potential Space Force hotline with China. Space Force chief says commercial satellites may need defending. Japanese startup to develop refueling satellite for US Space Force. After NASA's epic OSIRIS-REx capsule landing success from Bennu, spacecraft heads to asteroid Apophis on new mission. NASA reveals new plan to deorbit International Space Station. And NASA wants more space tug ideas to deorbit then return International Space Station to Earth. Sierra Space raising nearly $300 million from Japanese consortium at $5 billion valuation. Severe plankton bloom off Thailand creates marine dead zone. Native Americans invited back to help protect and preserve their former lands. 3 tribes announced nation's first indigenous ocean protection area to designate a marine stewardship area in Northern California's Del Norte and Humboldt counties. LG display to start mass production of 17-inch foldable OLED panels for hybrid laptops. Reddit will start paying real money for good posts.
DoorDash driver follows GPS, drives into Middleton Swamp, while delivering Dunkin' order, blames GPS, says police. Tesla road rage guy, sentenced to 5 years in prison. Goldman Sachs in talks with Malaysia to resolve latest 1MDB clash. Recently, Malaysia PM vowed to recover Goldman Sachs 1MDB settlement, warns of possible lawsuits 3 years ago. Goldman Sachs announced that. Goldman Sachs and the government of Malaysia announced an agreement to resolve all the criminal and regulatory proceedings in Malaysia involving the firm, including pending criminal proceedings against subsidiaries of Goldman Sachs and certain of their current and former directors, relating to One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, as Goldman Sachs' Malaysian subsidiary, have admitted to conspiring to violate the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, FCPA, in connection with a scheme to pay over $1 billion in bribes to Malaysian and Abu Dhabi officials, to obtain lucrative business for Goldman Sachs, including its role in underwriting approximately $6.5 billion in 3 bond deals for One Malaysia Development BHD.